Hey there everyone, it's Aaron Hughes from Food Dog Group, and in this video I'm going to talk about a concept that doesn't get talked about very often when it comes to productivity, efficiency, time management, and so on. And that concept is something that I call time frames. So when you look at your agenda, your to-do list, your task list, whatever it is that you are looking at each day to decide what you're going to do, what is the time frame of that work? Now here's what I mean. We really only work in about 4 different time frames. In fact, most people only work in 1 or 2. I'm going to suggest you need to work in probably 4 different time frames. So the time frames are the past, the present, the near future, and the distant future. So most people with their agenda, they're working on sometimes the past. They've got tasks and projects that are on their agenda, on their to-do list, but they should have been done, earlier, and now they're kind of in catch-up mode. They're trying to catch up and get the stuff done and get it off their list. That's the past time frame. And a lot of people work in the present time frame, right? They sit down at the beginning of the day. They've got this list of stuff that they want to do that day, and it's stuff that is either due that day or they're just like it needs to happen today for some reason. It's a meeting or it's a project that needs to happen on a specific day. And some people, but not everyone, some people are working toward a time frame of the distant future, like the next day, the next week, even up to the next month or so. And so you've got these 3 time frames. And if you were to look at your agenda, your to-do list, and give yourself an honest assessment, what time frames are there? Do you have more in the past that you're catching up on? Is there more in the present? Are you kind of keeping up with it? Or are you working more proactively for like the week, like the next day, next week, or next month? Right? So that's kind of where a lot of people work. And I think a lot of our tasks typically bounce back and forth between these. Like some days you might, for example, have more catch-up stuff. And then other days you might work a little more proactively. And then maybe you're sick one day, or you go on vacation, you come back and your past time frame tasks stack up a bit more. But in general, most people are working across these 3 time frames. And I think it's a good point here to pause and say, as you look at your agenda or your task list and you see the time frames, consider what is consistent. Are you consistently working on past time frame stuff? It's a good indicator that you're not able to catch up. You're not able to keep up, and so you should probably hire someone, delegate better, create better systems, productivity, automation, that type of thing, to clear out the past stuff to help you stop falling far behind all the time. If you find a lot of your stuff is present time frame, that's not bad. That's not bad. But the risk is that you're not building proactively for the future. And so you're going to end up with deadline after deadline kind of showing up all of a sudden, and you're scrambling to get it done because you haven't been able to work proactively toward the near future. So notice that on your task list or agenda, a lot of tasks consistently in the past probably means you're struggling to keep up. A lot of tasks consistently in the present probably means you're keeping up, but you could be surprised by deadlines and so on, or maybe you're procrastinating a little bit. What you need to do is, as much as possible, flip more of your work toward the near future time frame. Work more in that tomorrow to 1 month from now type of time frame. So you're working proactively on those things. And then eventually, when they become due on the now time frame, that you have them done, and there isn't a lot for you to do on this day. But the very, very best thing that you can do is work on the 4th time frame that I haven't mentioned yet, and that is a time frame of 1 to 5 years from now. And that's the time frame that, as much as possible, you should be adding to your task list. So that's where you're thinking about, where do I want to be 1 to 5 years from now? What do I need to do today to make it happen? And what tasks, projects do I need to be accomplishing today and in the near future in order to get me to my goals in 1 to 5 years? A lot of people aren't working on those 1 to 5 year goals today. They're just in sort of a someday maybe nice to do because they're so busy juggling between the past, the present, and the very near future. So look at your task list, take an honest assessment of like what's past, what's present, what's near future, and try to shift as much as possible, get as much of this stuff done as you can, and shift your attention to the near future, and then start stacking in tasks that will work toward the distant future. Now, that can be challenging if you're feeling really far behind, but in 1 to 5 years, you're going to come back and thank me, because that's how you're going to serve yourself in 1 to 5 years. The person that you're going to be in 1 to 5 years is going to get into your time machine and come back and thank you for the work you're doing today in order to serve future you. So, as much as possible, put as much work as you can on your task list toward a near future or distant future time frame, and you will enjoy your work a bit more because you're not feeling always behind, and you will be building a more abundant future for the future you that will thank you for your hard work today. All right, that is my insight for today on productivity, time management, efficiency, motivation, goal setting, and getting more done. We are talking about this stuff and so much more at Seekers of Power, which is an in-person event in Connecticut. It's on September 14th, 15th, and 16th. And I'm going to be there teaching a bunch of stuff, including some stuff on time management, on time frames, and power time, and these different drivers on how you can approach your day with a certain type of energy. I'm really excited about it, and I hope to see you at Seekers of Power. If you have some questions, you want to know what it is, you can hit me up in private message. I'll be happy to share with you. I'll be there teaching, and so will the Food Dog team. We've got a lot of insight to share on power, energy, focus, motivation, and so much more. So maybe I'll see you at Seekers of Power.